up, my fellow creators? Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me for another Topics with Becky. Are you guys all ready to go down the rabbit hole with me? Because if you are, please like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, set that notification bell so you always know when the next video does go live. Check out my channel for more pick-a-card readings, zodiac readings, positivity, and more. I've got some singing videos on there. Again, not for professionalism, just in truth, just to have fun. So that's my goal of my channel, is to help heal and to help provide a way for people to have fun. What do I want to talk to you guys about today? Letting our emotions control us. So oftentimes we get into situations where we become super irrational because of our emotions, and we think we're justified because we feel a certain way. And what we really have to understand is that our emotions are just how we feel, and if we're using our feelings to fuel the way that we approach people, then we'll never get to the truth of things, because we'll always just see how we feel, and we won't be listening with ears of love to another person. We won't be listening or seeing with eyes of love to, with another person. And we won't be feeling with love either. We'll be feeling with hurt and with pain and with anger and with upset. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We'll be feeling this in the truth. And what ends up happening is that we disconnect ourselves from the possibility of having a deeper connection with another person, because we're so bent on them hearing how we feel about a certain situation. Let me try that again, huh? Because we're so hell-bent on them hearing how we feel about the situation that really all we care about is them feeling our pain, and we don't want to feel their pain. And I bring this up because so often I would argue with my exes, like the people that were in my past, and friends too. I would argue with them, and I would never hear what they had to say. Like, it was like, you don't understand how I feel. How you feel is different. It's not the same. You would never understand how I feel. And as a person, it's not fair, okay? It's not fair to claim that another person will never know how you feel. It's not fair to claim that another person couldn't possibly understand where you're coming from if you never give them the chance to understand that, or if you're never actually truthful about how you feel. I think a lot of times people want others to read their minds. It's like, well, you should just know how I feel. And how can another person just know how you feel when you can't even articulate how you feel? You just feel that way. And not everybody is an empath, okay? And not everybody can feel how other people feel. Not everybody can even see that other people are struggling. I'm sure you've run into people where it's like you wear your emotions on your face, but it didn't matter how relevant or aware you were of your own feelings and how much you wore that on your face. Like, they still never came to you and asked you, like, well, what's going on? And then you had other friends who were like immediately like, what's going on? Like, what can I do to help? It's just people. Like, everybody experiences the world differently. You can't expect everybody to understand or know you when you don't understand or know you. And I bring this up because I think that we're so worried about not being understood that it's easier to argue and to feel superior to others. Like somehow we're better than they are because they just don't understand, or to see them as better than us because we don't understand, right? Whatever the situation is, because I think that it's on both sides. Like, I've been in both sides. Like, I thought that I was better because I believed a certain way, and I thought that I wasn't good enough because I didn't see things a certain way, okay? So there's all different ways that we can feel about it, but really in reality, we have to observe at the end of the day how we feel. If we don't observe how we feel, then we're always going to let our emotions control us. And that brings me to another part of this video, where oftentimes we are exhibiting old patterns that aren't ours to carry. Like, we've been given patterns by another person, or beliefs by another family member, or beliefs by a societal situation that we've been placed in. Like, if you were made fun of when you were a child, you deemed when you were a child you're never going to act that way again because of how bad you felt when you were made fun of. Or say you did have certain gifts when you were a child, you used those gifts and then people told you were crazy and you didn't like the way that that made you feel. So you vowed as a child that you were never going to do that again because you didn't like the way that that made you feel. You see, it can be used for so many different situations. And in reality, it's because we're putting so much value on the way that another person sees us or the way that another group of people sees us that we don't see ourselves. And in turn, we're putting so much value on this here and now moment with our emotions that we're not allowing others to see our true selves, okay? So it's a double-edged knife. How do you overcome this? Well, you have to spend time with the way that you feel, no matter what it is. If you are upset about something, can you spend time with that and be with that upset? Or are you just going to keep, blowing up at other people and they irritate you and suddenly now it's their fault that you're irritated, and so I'm going to take it out on this other person because they irritated me and there's no way that they could ever possibly understand how I feel, and I'm just going to make sure that everybody knows that I'm in a bad mood. Like, there's so much weight in this. Instead of spending time in hermit mode, right, or in solitude, taking time to honor the fact that, you know what, I'm really upset about this happening. Why don't I take some time to journal about it, or just take some time to even talk to myself about it? And I know people don't want to do this because it's like, well, when you talk to yourself, you're viewed as crazy. Well, isn't journaling the same as talking to yourself? And sometimes I write letters to myself in my journal, like, Dear Becky, so this is how I feel about this, and I'm really upset about that, and I just want you to know, and I need to voice it to somebody, and I don't know who to talk to. And there are often times when I'm on my walks and I'm talking to myself. Like, I brought this up in another video, so if you guys didn't catch it, you'll just have to kind of scroll through and see if you can find it, because I'm not sure. I talk so much on these, and I don't always remember which video is which, so whatever. It's cool. I ain't trying to be perfect. I ain't trying to remember it all. I'm just here to give guidance, that's all. So I will be on walks, and there's the one time when I had a walk and I was like, had to talk to my ego, and I was like, look, ego, this is what I said. I was like, look, ego, I know that you're trying to protect me. I know that you're trying to create a situation where I don't feel as less than, or I don't feel, so that I don't feel like I'm not enough. Like, you want me to be protected from the world, and I get that. But I want to hear what your fears are. I need you to tell me what your fears are. And then all of a sudden it was like, well, because of when this situation happened and the result was this. And then I was like, yeah, I understand that, but that's because we can't control another person's actions. And then my ego was like, well, and then there was this situation that happened and you felt like this. And I was like, yeah, and I honor that I felt that way. And I see how that can still affect me in this now moment. So now that I honor how I feel, what else do you have to tell me? And then my ego was like, well, I just feel like I'm not being heard. And I said, well, ego, I'm here listening to you now. So what is it that you want to tell me? And then all of a sudden, all these things started coming out. And was I talking to myself out loud? Hell yeah, I was. I was out there walking around, didn't care who was going to walk up on me, talking to myself, having a conversation with myself. You know the way I see it? Everybody has Bluetooth now, so how do they know I'm not talking to somebody on the phone? I remember when Bluetooth first came out, like, there were times when you would think somebody was talking to you because it was such a conversation. It was a real conversation. But really, they were talking to somebody on Bluetooth. Do you see? Like, can you be brave enough to have these conversations with yourself so that you can honor how you feel? And when you honor how you feel, then your emotions no longer hold you captive, and they're no longer in control of you. You become in control of your emotions. And what a lot of us don't realize, and a lot of us, they want to say that we're on this journey and that we're woke. And there's so many people that aren't woke because no matter what, time and time again, they're still repeating old cycles, okay? And it's like, I understand you're going to repeat cycles, but when you become woke, you start to realize, oh, I really do have to take accountability for what I do, for what I say, for how I feel. Because if you're trying to be woke, but you're constantly blaming another person for the way that you feel, you're not only giving your power away to that other person, you're basically saying that you have no part in it. Well, you're the one that feels that way, and that's your part in it. It's not that they made you feel that way. It's something that happened that set off a trigger that's a reminder of something that happened way back in when, whatever that was. And now it's asking you, how can you come at this from an adult mindset, saying there's no longer a reason for me to fear, because all emotions, anger, sadness, depression, jealousy, greed, all of these things stem from fear. And then you have happiness, joy, excitement. Think about happy. Why are there not as many happy emotions as there are sad emotions, right? So you only have two emotions, really. And they either stem from love, compassion, kindness, gratitude, okay? You have these things that stem from love, or you have these things that stem from fear. There is no in between. And you cannot live with both love and fear together. Like parents who are so protective of their children that they never let their children live. The reason they don't let their children live is because they're living in fear. But the answer is no, I don't let my child live because I love my child too much. No, what you're afraid of is losing. Your fear is losing that. And so now you're driven by fear, okay? And maybe some of you guys don't have children, and that's okay. Think about something that you were so afraid of losing that you loved. It could be a person, a place, or a thing. You were so afraid of losing it because you felt like it would make you feel less than. It made you feel like brokenhearted, right? We've all been there. We've all experienced that. Well, you're allowing the fear, the emotion of fear, to rule your actions rather than letting that be free and be what it is. Person to be who they are. Because when you control something, you're basically saying, I can't let it be because it is on me. It's on my shoulders. It's up to me to protect it. And at the end of the day, what happens is what's meant to happen. There's no control that you have over that. I think about what happened recently. If you guys watched the video that I posted about my car, my car broke and the timing chain blew. And when the timing chain blew, I went to go get a replacement head. And it was like, for a long time, I really felt like my car was my identity. And it was interesting because I had an opportunity to pick up a car like what I had before. And something told me not to, because I realized I was reliving memories over again. And my fear of not having that car tied to my identity is what made me almost get that other car. And so when I finally let go, I was actually given something that was a true blessing. Did it mean that it was perfect? No, it's not. It's not perfect, but it's what I need. And it's what it was more than what I could have ever imagined. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we can let things identify us, or we can allow ourselves to identify ourselves and let things be. I could have sat here and said, no, I can't let go of this car because of the memories that are attached to this car, because my ego doesn't want to let go of it. Versus what happened was I said, look, I'm going to let go of it and see what happens. And when I let go of it, things started happening like this, and they started to all fall into place. And it happened so fast. It happened so fast. It was just like I just became so unattached to what it was. And that's why we have to realize we have to become unattached to our emotions and realize they're not who we are. It's just something we're experiencing in this moment. Does it mean that it's perfect? No, we're still human, and there will still be moments when your emotions will get the better of you, because that's what we've all been taught. But you have to take time to listen to yourself. And when you listen to yourself, you become stronger. This is what I have for you guys. I love you so very much. Thank you for joining me for Topics with Becky. As always, go forth boldly, my fellow creators, and courageously find creative ways to rise above in life, laughter, and love until we meet each other again. Peace out. I love y'all. Bye.